Oh, hello there. Yes, well, hurrah, it's Friday. Yeah, except I have to go out to work, which is awful. And then I've got to come back and do some work. And then, well, I've got to do more things. It's horrible. Yeah. So much easier when I was about one, dimly recall. Yes, I think adults did everything for me there. I was sort of an elite then, I think, in terms of my status, but yeah, it's gone downhill since then. Never mind. Anyway, today we're talking about more elites like we were yesterday, but we're also going to talk about Elon Musk like we were a few days ago. Yeah, because I think it's important. Elon Musk, of course, has vast tentacles in the US government already, and has vast tentacles in and around Twitter. So we're going to look at some of his tweets. Okay, this one. Those granted asylum become citizens within 5 years, which is just over one presidential election cycle, and then vote overwhelmingly Democrat. This is why so many are being placed in large numbers in Arizona, Wisconsin, Ohio, and other swing states to create permanent one-party rule by the Democrats. Yes, indeed. You see, it's all a nefarious plot. Yeah, it's a plan that they might. I think that they're trying to replace people. They might remind you of things. Yes. Well, there's this one. The Dem administrative state is flying millions of future voters directly into swing states, where they are being sent to cities and towns throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Arizona. Yeah, they are the swing states. Yeah, given that the sure part to permanent one-party rule, it's a very smart strategy. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah. You see, and the beauty, of course, of Twitter is that there are community notes. So as Elon has rightly pointed out, if somebody was telling huge porkies for, political reasons, then you community note them, and they haven't been community noted them, so he must be absolutely right, mustn't he? Yes. And sometimes he doesn't need to be community noted, because sometimes he just asks a question, a bit like, Tucker Carlson does, like this one. And no one is even trying to assassinate Biden and Kamala. I wonder what's going on there. Yeah, odd, isn't it? Yeah, that he's able to do this. But like I say, he's able to community note, and the whole point of that, of course, is to make sure, as I say, that people can't post up porkies. However, I was drawn to one particular comment about him, is that this one from Aaron. Yeah, once again, Musk has no clue what he's talking about. Oh dear. First, there's no data on electoral preferences of asylees. One of the most famous groups, Cubans, votes GOP. Second, the majority of asylum claims are denied. Third, no one is placed anywhere. People go where they want. Yes, which made me think, yeah, that is actually how it happens, isn't it? You hear the same thing in this country, of course, that, the Labour Party are more than happy to have loads of immigrants because they all vote Labour, except, the problem at the last election is we ended up with 5 independent MPs, if you count Jeremy Corbyn, and 4 others who cannot be named because they are bad people, because they're brown and they don't fit properly, so we won't talk about them, says the British media. And people appeared not to be voting Labour, but also to be voting on concerns that had to do with what nasty people might call ethnic lines. Now, you might say to yourself, oh, I wonder why it is that Elon Musk isn't community noted. Well, because those rules don't apply to him. He will happily sit and be interviewed by right-wingers and get told and tell people about how egalitarian everything, and everyone needs to be allocated their jobs on their merit, and everybody's equal and everything's libertarian and lovely. And yet he doesn't abide by his own rules. Now, if you look at who he follows in this country, it's quite an interesting group of people, and I'm just going to highlight one, who's James Esses, great friend of the channel. Yeah, James Esses, who's a transphobe, and Elon's a transphobe as well, because, like, his daughter won't talk to him because, he's a transphobe. Yes, indeed, yes. So we end up with this enormously powerful person who's trying to swing the election, who basically doesn't follow the same rules as other people. Now, that should ring alarm bells for you, especially with somebody that has such an enormous media presence, because Twitter is huge still. Anex is still huge, isn't it? Yes. Plus, of course, there's the whole Starlink thing, which, whilst it's great that you can get broadband in the Christmas Islands or somewhere else, I worry that he's the one in charge of it, because he can also decide not to do that. He's also somebody with very big ties to the Israeli military apparatus, and even bigger ties to the US military apparatus in terms of the contracts that he has. He's very, very keen on Trump winning. Very keen, because he wants to see himself very much at the centre of a Trump administration. And you have to say to yourself, well, nobody will have voted for him, and his track record with various things seems to be, well, somewhat self-interested, one might say. I worry very much about very, very rich people that seem to have no level of self-awareness and at the same time really don't particularly care about others. You might say the same thing about loads and loads of people, other people on the right. Look at someone like Lawrence Fox, not really a caring individual. Look at somebody like Boris Johnson, yeah? Let the bodies pile high. Now, if you agree with Elon Musk, that's fine. But if you agree with Elon Musk and can't see why it's a problem that he has so much power and uses it just in one particular way, then you're an ideologue. And I'm using that in the nicest way possible. Anyway, do have a lovely Friday. It's going to be a gorgeous weekend. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. That gorgeous Indian summer. Yes, or independent MP summer, as I think we need to call it.